Hi, kids. How are you? That's right. It's Uncle Festa. How's your dirty tits? Good? Let me ask you a question. By the way, this episode of the Nick DiPaolo Show is brought to you by oandapodcast.com. Let me ask you a question. Are you getting enough? I bet you'd love more, right? Well, oandapodcast.com wants to give you more with 10 free gifts. That's right. Cinco gifts. I'm kidding. That's the S. First, you'll get a sexy surprise for her. Second, a specially selected toy for him. And third, a little something we know you'll both enjoy. Plus, you'll get 6 full-length adult movies on DVD. And number 10, free shipping on your entire order. That's right, folks, free shipping. So what do you have to get your 10 free gifts? It's not hard. Just go to adamandeve.com and select any one item. It could be an adventurous new toy, sexy piece of lingerie, or anything you desire. Maybe a cucumber or carrot. Just enter offer code NICK at checkout, and you'll get all 10 free gifts. Go check out adamandeve.com today. Select one item and get 10. That's right, 10 free gifts, including free shipping when you enter offer code NICK. That's NICK at adamandeve.com. Do it today. You'll be happy. Your wife will be happy. Your boyfriend will be happy. Your life partner. Trust me, it's good stuff. Joe Matarese is in the house. That's right. I got up this morning and did Opie and Jimmy. And I'm like, I'll go home and I'll bang out a podcast. But halfway home, I was like, I'm tapped. And, Matarese, I called him in from the bullpen for long relief. Shows up in shorts and a T-shirt. I'm in a full tuxedo and a top hat as usual when I do my show. And Joe shows up and he's got his son Luke in tow. He sabotaged me.
Rosh Hashanah.
What's Rosh Hashanah got to do with you having your kid?
It's school's
the Jew broads don't handle kids during the holidays?
School's closed today.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah, so I have them because I didn't,
Wait a minute. What schools? Jewish schools?
Public schools are closed today.
Are you telling me all public schools across the nation are closed or just in very Jewish New York?
That's a great question.
I think you should know that. You're married to a Jew broad.
No, I'm not. My wife's not Jewish.
I'm kidding.
But
I always say that because she's a psychologist.
I know. You just imagine.
Wait a minute. I'm confused. And how does Rosh Hashanah got anything to do with this?
Well,
it's a holiday.
The school's closed today and tomorrow. So when my kids have days off, I have to watch my kids.
What are they going to? To Moses Malone School? What school are they going to, the kids?
My son goes to the public school in New Rochelle. Well, I grew up in Cherry Hill, New Jersey, so I can't really... I can't really compare because that's a Jewish area too.
Did you have to go to school on Rosh Hashanah? You got all that off?
I do a joke about that. How you have the whole month of September.
I'm sorry,
off.
I don't have all your albums.
No, I'm just an old joke. Did you have Jewish holidays off in your schools growing up?
Christ, no.
None of them.
No.
Did you go to Catholic school?
We had very anti-Semitic school. They made us do extra time on the Jewish holidays. We had to do 14 hours a day. Hateful.
Did you go to Catholic school though?
I did not. I just went to regular public school.
And you didn't have like Yom Kippur and like just
Christ,
the big
no.
ones?
We were lucky to get Patriots Day off.
See, that's the thing. I mean, you're from New England. When you go, I notice when I go to New England, there's very minimal Jewish people there.
It's a blue blood town, Boston. It's all blue bloods.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is true. Marblehead. Marblehead's a rich.
Burb.
Yeah, it's on the water. It's internationally known, Marblehead, Massachusetts. A lot of Jewish people live in Marblehead, well off to do. But there's a part of Marblehead called the Neck. It's out on the Neck. It's almost like an island, almost separate. It's part of Marblehead, okay? But it's all blue blood. It's all waspy blue blood. So much so they don't even let Jewish people live on the Neck.
Really?
At least that's what my girlfriend told me in the 80s when I was in college. I was dating a girl that lived on the Neck.
On the Neck.
Yes. And she told me that. Are you shitting me? What is... That's crazy.
Yeah, there's probably still places like that and all over.
Well, let's hope so, huh? Oh, that was horrible. I'm kidding if anybody's listening that's Jewish. I have many Jewish friends. Albert Einstein, Kelly Monteith.
Kelly Monteith?
Where did I come up with that one? David Steinberg, Modi. Very funny comedian out of the...
And all the comedy club owners.
And a lot of the comedy club owners. No. Oh, yeah. Manny Dwarman.
And Noam.
Noam, the late Manny Dwarman. Noam is his son who owns the Comedy Cellar. That's a good segue into... Did I get everything out of the way? We'll do the plugs later on as far as the gigs.
Yeah, but in a nutshell, that's why.
That's why you
Luke's
brought
here.
the kid.
Yeah.
So once again, the Jewish people messing up my career, whether not hiring me or sabotaging me with Joe's kids.
Yeah. Well, my daughter's home too. The woman that watches my daughter for daycare she matches her schedule with the teachers' schedules. So when the schools are closed, she'll close sometimes too. So I have both kids, but my daughter went to the zoo with her sister-in-law, my sister-in-law, and her
Which
daughter.
zoo?
Bronx Zoo.
That's funny. The Bronx. My wife went there a couple weeks ago with her. Took her mom and grandmother.
Mm-hmm.
I've never been, but I've been on 186 in Lenox. Close enough.
It is funny when there's parts of the Bronx Zoo where you literally see a really high fence, and then you just see
and you see what,
projects.
bleachers?
You see projects right on the out. They'll be like
on the outskirts of the Bronx Zoo.
Some of it, I can't imagine. Like if you had an apartment on one of those high floors and you're looking down at fucking giraffes.
That's awesome. Wouldn't that be awesome?
It's like Michael Jackson's house.
It's like good way to lure the kids back to the apartment. Hey, do you like rhinos, Timmy? Let me show you. Get in your pajamas. Get on my elevator. Let me show you from the third floor window.
I'm wondering. We should do a documentary about all those apartments that live in view of exotic animals.
That's funny. They're probably just regular apartments. There might be a...
It's not a nice area that's outside of the Bronx Zoo.
That's funny. That's true, because I heard a couple animals escape, and they found a zebra stabbed to death on the Major Deegan. Graffiti all over it. They found a rhino up on blocks, missing his feet. Goodness gracious!
I'm just lobbing them to you.
Oh, absolutely! I'm fucking on fire.
Beautiful.
Still got the coffee. 8 quarts of coffee I drank this morning, and you mentioned Noam Dworman. He was at the Comedians Cookout, the 4th or 5th annual cookout here at the DiPaolo pad. And Joe Matarese brought his lovely wife, Stephanie. She's, I tell you, your wife's brainy and gorgeous. Seriously, Joe's got a very hot wife. Still has her figure from high school.
It's funny. Like I was just thinking when we were at you mentioned that to me at the cookout.
I did.
And you mentioned it in a way that I'm like, if I have a feeling like he would try to fuck my wife.
That I would try?
Like it was like a little like...
No, I would never do that to a friend.
It was a little like...
If you gave me a reason.
If
you spilled a Heineken on my rug, I might have went after her.
I started to get I have barely a little bit of that Jake LaMotta jealousy in my head. Look, I don't have a lot of it. I laugh usually.
I have none of it.
I don't know what to say when people compliment your wife. I said thank you like I had something to do with it.
Well, it's a compliment to you. I don't like when people go, there's a great scene. I wish I knew we were talking about it. I would have pulled it up. But there's a great scene in, oh my God, it's like I have mental illness.
Give me the actors. I'll know the movie.
I don't even know the actors. You know who... it's Casino. It's Casino when De Niro's character, he's with Sharon Stone at a party, and this young kid comes up, and he introduces, De Niro introduces Sharon Stone, and the young kid goes, Mr. Rothstein, you're a very lucky man, and kisses her hand and walks away. Mm-hmm. First of all, I've had a few people say that to me when I had girlfriends or my wife.
Right.
And when they go very lucky, and I've actually, after about the 4th time, this is my comeback, when they go, you're very lucky, I go, luck had nothing to fucking do with it, jerk off. How about that? How about a fucking average dick and pretty good money? But that's like an insult. Oh, you're very lucky. Like, you stepped in dog shit. How'd you get her?
Yeah, you're some fat dork.
No, exactly. Who you talking to? Fucking John Merrick? She's got a nice ass. So De Niro goes, yeah, he was a good kid. But then he goes, the next day I fired him. He canned the guy the next day. It's a great scene in Casino. Yeah. No, but your wife she's really, I've said it before. No, but you're a friend of mine.
I never know if I should tell her. You ever have
Well, you should tell her. That's why I'm telling you.
You get a
I'm hoping you'll... What, I got to hand a note to you? Give this to her in gym class.
I mean, I guess if I die, you can have her. I mean, if your wife dies and you're still around,
like in a gardening accident. Somebody finds her impaled on a tomato stick.
Coincidentally, right after this podcast airs, she's fucking dead in it.
I'll have to rename the podcast.
On a tomato plant.
Mrs. Andrea DiPaolo was found amongst some summer squash rotting in October. Oh, my God. That's horrible. But anyway, so, yeah, Joe came and with Luke and who else?
Both my kids came to the barbecue.
I can't keep
Willa.
it straight. I got a lot of friends and a lot of kids.
They were both my kids.
Willow?
I have Willa with an A.
Oh, Willa.
That's my daughter's name, yeah.
What's her last name? Mina? Get it, folks? Wilhelmina? What? So how old was Willa?
3.5.
Oh.
I told you a comic, actually. It was just too soon to make a joke like that. Some comic. And you know him. I'll tell you the name after I tell you who said it.
Too soon after what?
My daughter was born like 2 days before that, and he goes, "Congratulations, what did you name her?" And I said, Willa. And he just paused, and he goes, Willa. So guys are going to be saying, Willa, you suck my dick. She was 2 days old.
Much better than what I just said.
2 days old.
Too soon?
2 days old's too soon.
I think it actually works in reverse. That's the only appropriate time to make a joke like that.
Because the baby's it's a baby.
Exactly.
Okay.
And you know she's not going to be sucking dick till she's like in fourth grade. That's horrible, Nick. Who said that?
Johnny Lampert.
That's the funniest thing that ever came out of his mouth. Are you sure it was Lambert?
It was Lampert.
Are you sure?
I swear to God. Johnny Lampert.
Did he really say
Johnny
that?
Lampert, every time I come to do your podcast, he goes, just, slip my name in and tell him I'm doing well. Tell him I'm doing well. I want to see what he says.
He's always such an insecure.
I want to see what he says. Drop it in.
John, I hope you're doing well. John.
He manages comedians.
Yeah, I know he does. That's terrific.
Drop it in.
And I'm teaching driving school. This is Johnny Lambert. This is the most insecure guy. This is like years after I met him. I mean, we're up like we're grown men now. We're in our 30s. He comes up to me, he goes, "Hey, Nick, what do you bench?" What the fuck? Are we in gym class in 8th grade? What do you bench? He always used to go, you and I are kind of the same, like...
Husky,
yeah.
Strong in the shoulders.
I couldn't believe he asked me that. I tell everybody that story.
What do you bench? I could hear him saying that.
What do you bench? Last time somebody asked that, it was like 1974.
The thing I like most about Johnny Lampert, and people that are listening are probably going, who the fuck is that? Well, he's a comic that we know, but who went into,
the management end.
And he books a lot of private gigs, bands and everything. Like he's booked Madonna.
We call it
he wanted
selling
me to tell
out.
You that. He's booked Madonna before for like a private event. I'm telling you.
No, he hasn't.
He's booked Madonna.
No, he hasn't.
I'm telling you.
Madonna from what, New Rochelle? Madonna Bartolini?
Stevenson.
Yeah, Madonna Stevenson. Is you serious?
Yeah, he does a lot of that middleman booking.
Middle what?
Like I call it like a middleman. Like they come to him and then he gets them from
That's
their
damn
agency.
good.
Yeah.
Well, I congratulate him on that.
He's very good at it.
Are you sure it's the Madonna that we know?
Yeah, he's booked a lot of those guys.
Well, now where he booked her into what? Like a funny bone in Tampa?
He just
good going for Lambert. I'm happy for John.
It's funny because I don't want to segue out of your barbecue, but I went to the U.S. Open last week.
Yeah, the
with
tennis.
This friend of mine who's got a lot of money, and he took us to we sat in the J.P. Morgan suite, and Gladys Knight was sitting next to us. Like that's how I took a
J.P. Morgan
suite. That's like, and they were that's who sponsored the U.S. Open. Like J.P. Morgan was huge. It was hugely involved in the U.S. Open.
You were rubbing elbows with. How'd you get into that booth?
It was because
Johnny Lambert booked.
No, I just told you the guy who invested in my special.
Yeah.
Called me up and had tickets. I invited you. You said you couldn't go.
I couldn't go.
Yeah,
I couldn't. I had to make $25 at the stand. After $72 worth of gas and 12 in tolls.
It was the daytime session, though. It was the 1-5 match. It was the quarterfinals.
It doesn't matter. But
Gladys Knight's there.
Why would be Gladys Knight? Did you have a black eye? Oh, no, Ike's long gone.
She wasn't with... That's somebody else. That's
Ike and
Tina Turner.
Gladys Knight and the
Gladys
Pips.
Knight sang on the midnight train to Georgia.
I'm confusing my domestic violence black couples.
I don't know who. She was.
Nobody
the Pips.
hit Gladys Knight.
No,
you're right.
She was the
Gladys
Pips.
Knight and the Pips.
Yeah, I tweeted about it, and people said, "Who are the
The Pips were a backup
Pips.
singers.
They didn't know. I'm like, God, I feel old.
No, that's a great.
The
No,
Pips.
they should know that. That's Motown classic.
They didn't know.
on the midnight train to Georgia, living on the midnight train.
Yeah.
I'd rather live in his world than live without him in my world. Is that Gladys?
You know the words? Yeah.
That's Gladys, right?
Yeah.
Sure. I always liked the song when I thought she was getting smacked around. But now I don't have as much respect. No.
What was the reason? I'm fucking losing it. What was the reason I just brought up the guy?
Because you're in the J.P. Morgan booth. Johnny Lambert booked Madonna.
Because Johnny told me he's booked Gladys Knight before. That's how it connects.
Well, Johnny, he's making more money than me.
I know exactly what she got paid to do, like somebody's backyard.
Like, you're not going to tell us right now? We're hanging on it.
No one cares.
I
shouldn't tell you the exact number.
Okay, round it off.
It's between 1 and 200,000 for the night. Plus, as they would say, all expenses. I guess not and her entourage. Musicians get a lot. I don't know what it is. Comedians don't get that.
I got 16 clams to play in a guy's backyard.
I remember that. But we don't ever get and I want to bring 12 of my friends. Like, that doesn't work with comedy, where we have an entourage that we can put up in a hotel.
Well, why would you know comics unless you're a black comic? Who's going to have an entourage?
Some of these guys do, and I don't understand it. I would never. I don't need a road manager.
Oh, those. I showed up by myself. They sent the car for me. Pulled up to this mansion in Westport. Went out back. All these beautiful people walking around. I'm mulling around eating shrimp with them. And then the stage was... The stage, I told you, I think we talked about this. The stage was as beautiful as any club I've played.
Yeah.
Outside. And he had a canopy in case it rained. The sound system was like Sinatra. I did like an hour. 16 dimes.
Nice.
Gives me a bottle of French wine on the way out.
Yeah.
Haven't talked to him since. Can't get back in. Can't even get back in.
It's like getting a 2-on-1 with a girl. You never get him again.
Guy's
it's like two girls, sex, done. You'll never see him again.
I know.
I've had a couple in my lifetime, and I've never seen those girls again.
What, 2 at once?
2 girls at the same time. Had it twice.
Happened to me. I don't know if I mentioned this to you. It's happened to me twice. Uh-huh. Now, get a load of this. Is this not the fucking weirdest thing? Back-to-back weekends.
What?
None before, none after. Back-to-back weekends.
Wow.
I've gone through pictures of going, what was I wearing? How was my haircut? Is that not the oddest thing ever?
That really is, because
Well, marriage will put a crimp in the last 20 years,
But I would yeah.
Is that fucking bizarre?
I guess it's good because after you had it so close that you figure it out, and you kind of, it's like watching somebody make a putt. Like you know how to do it.
Read the greens.
Yeah, you knew what to do the second time because it was a week later.
Either that, I was just extremely fucking lucky. One of them was a ex-wife of a NHL Canadians hockey player.
Really?
Played with the Canadians.
I was gonna ask, how did they both go down? How did it?
I don't want to get into that.
Okay, what's the word?
I don't know.
That I'm looking for.
Divorce.
They didn't go down in the same way. I mean, how did it?
How did it go down?
Yeah.
You're saying they go down.
No,
You're making it sound like...
I meant
she went first, the blonde, then the brunette went after.
How did you meet them? Was it like a comedy situations?
One of them was, and one wasn't.
Okay.
Just the fucking bizarrest thing ever.
Did you tell them, man, I had this last weekend, too?
Huh? No.
You didn't bring it up?
Christ, no.
That would have been great.
Then I would have had to, come up with an excuse why I was so bad.
Was it a bisexual one, or was it like a totally they liked guys?
It was a guy. Totally they liked guys.
Oh, see, I've never had that. I had both times. I think it was more of like they wanted to be with each other, and I just forced myself
your way in there.
Yeah, both times. The first time I videotaped it, they let me set a camera up in a hotel room, and then my house was robbed in Astoria, and I lost the camera with that tape in there. It's out there.
Are you fucking kidding me?
I swear to God.
Are you kidding me?
I swear to God, when I lived in Astoria, I think it was an inside job. I think it was like the super in the building or something.
That would have surfaced after you being on America's Got Talent.
I was going to say,
if you won
if I ever got famous,
surfaced.
It's coming out. I'm going to be like Kim Kardashian. It's going to come out.
See Joe on the cover of Esquire with his ass all oiled up.
It'll be embarrassing because I'm barely involved. Like, these girls were so lesboing out. I'm running the camera. I'm Scorsese in the corner. Do that again. I got to change the lighting.
Yeah, I'm getting a shadow from the boom. Is that the boom or my dick? Oh my God, that's quite a story.
Yeah, the second one was an acting class. I used to tell young comics, if you want to get laid, acting class.
Absolutely. I picked up this young boy in Hollywood. right off the bus from Tulsa. He was very confused. I said, you got to study Meisner. Next thing you know, he's in his shorts by a fire. No, that's true. Acting classes. You want to see Snatch, fellas? Even if you're not in show business. I know a guy out in L.A. Who hooked... He had like a fake modeling. He was pretending he was doing like headshots and you know, getting modeling jobs for girls. Ad in the paper, him and another guy. This is when I was living in Venice Beach. And they had no company. They were just full of shit. And they were fucking dating and fucking every other chick that went in there. He'd show me the headshot, and then a week later I'd see him in a club with the chicks. They would think, you know... Can you imagine that kind of ball? I know. Well, it's not genius. It's like the oldest trick in the book.
But it's not like Cosby. You can't go to jail, really, just because you...
No, because it's consensual.
There's nothing really illegal there.
No, you're just playing off there.
You just buy a good camera. You can't show up with like a fucking Instamatic. Remember those Insta cameras that shot the fucking pictures out the bottom?
The guy that did my headshots in L.A., this is true. The guy that did he was a regular on, remember Kojak with Telly Savalas in the 70s?
Yeah.
He was a regular on that show.
Who was he?
I don't want to say his name, obviously.
What part did he play?
He was like Kojak's right-hand guy.
Okay.
He played a detective or whatever. Anyways, I move into some apartment building on Doheny in Los Angeles, right?
Yeah.
This guy's living on the top floor. I meet him, you know, in the lobby or whatever, you know.
Yeah. Ignore it, Nick.
Fucking thing. Anyways, yeah, so
top floor.
He tells me he's a photographer. He'll do my headshots for cheap. I go up to his apartment. He's got pictures of like Michelle Pfeiffer when she was like 22. Who the hell else? Like 3, 4, 5 famous broads that are really famous. Like when they were young, when they first got to L.A. And so he goes up and does. He shoots a couple rolls of me up on his roof, and I used a couple of headshots. One of them is still, I think, at the Comedy Cellar. Anyways, it turns out this guy, after I moved out of the building, somebody else I knew out in L.A. knew who he was and stuff. And I think after I moved back to New York, he get busted for like running prostitutes out of his apartment.
Oh, really?
Yes. He was still a handsome, older, you know, He was older than me. Good, but still good looking. You could tell, you know.
Right.
And he's just a player, this guy.
He crossed the line. He went too far.
Yeah. But, you know, I can imagine the gift of gab he had. You know, but he had a picture of Michelle Pfeiffer. She looked like she was 19. You know,
I for some reason when you brought up the photographer and getting the girls, I don't know why it came into my head, but I used to remember those Poison Ivy movies. They were like softcore porn almost, and they would run like late night on Showtime. And there was like a whole bunch of them in one.
What were they called?
The movie was called like Poison Ivy. There was like a 1, a 2, a 3, and a 4. And like
did you audition? No, seriously.
No, I didn't. I wish.
I read for some.
You read for one of those softcore kind of movies?
Yes. And it was on Showtime.
Was it with Alyssa Milano? Because that's who was the lead in the first one.
Fuck. I don't know. No, this guy worked for Playboy or something. But it was softcore. It was.
Yeah, and it would always be like some almost
I actually went to the guy's apartment
really
to read
girl.
for it.
Really?
Yeah, like a really nice apartment. The guy, there's a lot of guys playing out there.
Well, in that movie, there's a girl who's like a photographer, but she's just using it to like have lesbian sex, and she just starts coming on to Alyssa Milano and going, you know, like making her pull the shirt down a little more in the pictures. Next thing you know, she's like naked, and they're making out.
Is this?
That's what it's. Yeah, it's on YouTube.
It's on YouTube.
Yeah, you could see it.
Oh, I'll see it.
That was the first
Your
time.
Your car won't even be down the end of the driveway. Trust me. I'll be in here with a wet towel.
That's a good one.
I'll be like an explosion at a Baskin Robbins down here. Mark that down. Alyssa Milano.
Oh yeah, she's nude in a lot of the movies because she got the fake boobs and then she started doing those kind of films.
Fake?
She has fake boobs.
Are you sure? Tony Danza told me otherwise.
No, well,
no, I'm kidding.
Back then
they real, were. Sam.
Angela,
dude. What am I doing? Trying to do an impression of the greatest impressionist on the East Coast.
Mona was
Angela.
Who was Mona? Was that the mother of the? He was the.
Mona was
the premise of that show. He was.
Yeah,
like
I've been trying to forget it.
He's the maid, right?
Yeah,
he's the male maid.
Yeah. Proving once again emasculation of men on sitcoms has been going on forever.
That is one of the big...
I got to go to his house, I had a deal with his production company.
Did you really?
Yeah, I'm sitting on his couch drinking Heinekens with him.
Was he cool?
He was as cool as they come.
That's good.
He's a tough guy,
Well, it's good that you said that, because I witnessed him once being interviewed, and I thought Tony Danza was a douche. Because you know that because you're a sports fan, that Michael Kay on the Yes Network.
Yeah,
he
I met him.
a lot of people.
Yep.
He's like he's the Yankees announcer or whatever. I did warm up for like 2 episodes of that, and one was Herschel Walker and another was Tony Danza. So I would stay and watch the interview because I had only two jobs in. You're still interested in the interview. Probably after you do about 5, you're like, this is so boring. I can leave.
My first Letterman, Tony Danza was the other guest.
Was he?
So what happened?
So Tony Danza was getting interviewed, and I noticed he was very much like where you were talking about Lampert coming across insecure.
Yeah.
He came across insecure because every time they went to commercial, he'd start talking about himself even more. And I was like, dude, you're being interviewed for an hour and a half straight from birth to where you are now, and you got to talk about yourself even more during the commercials. He came across to me so douchey.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't get that at all.
Maybe because I watched Herschel Walker first.
Yeah, Mr.
Earlier,
Humble.
and he was so
soft-spoken
such
and
a
humble.
gentleman. Yeah.
Yeah. And a bit of a girl.
Yeah,
I'm kidding.
he had that book that he wrote. He has weird...
I was kidding. That was a total
No,
joke.
not a girl, but he has weird... What's his thing?
Who, Herschel?
Herschel has like a...
He used to stutter.
I think he's sophisticated... I almost said
autistic?
Not autistic.
Sophisticated.
No, like
Sophisticated.
multiple personalities. Like, what's that
Schizophrenic.
called? Schizophrenic.
He has or is it bipolar, you're thinking?
No.
He's schizophrenic?
I think
you're right.
Yeah, and
he did mention that.
Yeah, he mentioned like he would go into a whole other people when he would play football, and he would be this guy. And
right after he fumbled, he'd go, that wasn't me. That was my alter ego, Kevin.
That was Kevin.
Excuse me.
Oh, excuse you.
I think it's good that you did morning radio this morning. I think you're loose.
Yeah? What, am I usually tight down here?
No, but you have extra good ones. I feel like you usually have a lot, but you have extra now. You're double Dutch.
Joe's saying quality instead of quantity. That's what he's saying.
You got
a good point.
Got quality and quantity.
It's a good point. Look, I just found this old notebook on the floor.
It's probably mine.
And no, it's mine. It's premises that I never developed. Mm-hmm. This is just give you a little touch of where I think brain cancer. That's one of the premises. Sloan Kettering. Fudgy the Whale.
You use Sloan Kettering a lot. That's
love
one of your
Sloan
references.
Kettering. I know, because nobody else does it. I did it at the stand the other night. I go, Jesus Christ, I've seen happier faces in the waiting room at Sloan Kettering. You people suck. I'm always saying, this room has the energy of a cancer benefit. What the fuck's going on? Look at this. Here's a bit that I never developed and I remember about nursing homes. Yeah, ever go into a nursing home? It smells like pine sol and death.
It does.
Well, yeah, I remember my buddy's grandmother was in there. We're trying to tell her it's a beautiful place to stay. I said, meanwhile, we're looking out the window behind her, and there's a couple of black orderlies stacking dead bodies like sandbags on a swollen riverbank. How the hell did that not make the fucking cut?
That's a definite.
And Famous Georges. What does that even mean?
You never did it? That was
I
never
probably
done.
gave it a week. All the best stuff, Joe. You know how it works.
Yeah.
All the funny, wordy, really smart shit in a comedy club. It doesn't work. Especially, you know why that is? Because you have somebody on before you doing easy, fucking stupid garbage,
right,
for the most part. Right. And it takes the piss out of the audience.
Right.
And you come up with like really wordy shit, you know? That's why... Oh, now I'm not going to remember his name. Who's the author? David Sedaris.
Yeah.
Who's really friggin' funny. My wife always gets everything he writes.
Yeah.
Those are the guys that I envy now. I mean, I love stand-up, don't get me wrong, but to go to he reads his books in front of they do a reading in front of a live audience. Okay?
And it kills.
In a theater.
Right.
You're at a podium. Nobody's
the whole book?
Not the whole
like
book.
A section, right?
But yeah, a couple hours worth or whatever.
Yeah.
Okay? They pay top dollar to see that.
Right.
There's nobody ordering chicken fingers. There's no table of girls with fucking dicks sticking off the top of their bachelorette
it's
hats.
all readers.
Yeah. And they're hanging on every word
Yeah.
and fucking howling.
Yeah.
So I guess I'm going to have to do that.
You got to write a book.
Do you see what I'm saying, though? They're hanging on every word. They're not fucking ordering drinks. Does that not sound like a great way to make people laugh? I mean, that's the ideal situation.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you can write a book. That's the only little bump in the road.
Well, there's the other way, which I don't know.
What other way?
You get a taste of this. Well, they say you draw what you talk about. Like your fans should be.
That's
what
not
you
true.
talk about.
You first of all, once you become a draw,
Right.
That's
what I'm saying.
Yeah. Which I'm happy because I'll look out but I'm talking about when I go to the stand or in the
when
city.
you're just dropping in.
Yeah, that's
different. You can't. What's the word? You can't use that as the proper gauge. That's what sucks.
No, but that's where you are 3/4 of the year, developing your shit in front of these drunken fucking NYU students or whatever.
Unless you're adding bits.
And then when you go to a room, and unless you're a Gaffigan or fucking Burr or Louis C.K. and you're going to sell out in 5 minutes, and everybody there is there to see you.
Yeah.
You know, when you do your headlining the Funny Bone in Denver, you're still going to get that table of fucking drunken broads. Half the crowd might be there to see you.
Yeah, you're going to always there could always be the bad table.
And that's on me for not being famous enough. But that's why, again, I'm going to sell Coke to school children.
I feel like we skipped over the barbecue a little bit. Did you want to talk about that?
We didn't even get to it.
Yeah, we didn't even really get to that. We veered out, but you mentioned...
The comedian's cookout I had on Labor Day.
Yeah, you haven't talked about that?
No, I haven't.
Did you do a podcast last week?
I did one. I released it, but I did it a couple days before the cookout.
You did it before.
And released it. It's a little showbiz trick.
I talked about your barbecue on my podcast.
Did you really?
Last week. I'm trying to remember what I said about it.
I didn't even talk to you much. That's what's so ironic. I hardly even talk to you.
Well, that's what happens when you're the
host.
Yeah,
I was behind the grill. It's 119
yeah,
Kelvin.
you were sweating your balls off. I
looked like I had malaria. People are coming over. Boy, you fucking. Look at a guy that had Hep C and he's working at McDonald's. It's just sweat was gushing. It was a hot day.
It was like
I was cooking my balls off, like I was hosting the Chew. And it was awesome. 21, 22 people showed up.
It was the perfect amount of people.
Wasn't it? And everybody was having a good time.
It was a very good time. It was perfect.
I was happy behind the grill, not having to talk to anybody. Just
well, there was no one really there that you wouldn't want to talk to.
No, everybody's nice people.
Yeah. Did you invite way more than that?
No, that's what I invited.
Yeah.
That's what I invited.
I'm trying to think
Couple people.
Who else did you invite that couldn't make it? Like
Anthony Comia, Louis, Amy, names I know they're going to be busy.
Yeah. Well, Kumi, I think, had his own barbecue that day. Somebody told me they were going to it.
Well, I know. He said no. But then Keith, his guy, or I should say Keith said we can't make it. But then Keith texted me a week later saying Anthony just said on air on Anthony's podcast that he's coming to your barbecue. So I had him down for a yes. But I bet...
He probably forgot his barbecue was the same day.
Probably had strippers and shit. I'm over here playing with Gnome's kids. Get in a paddle boat, Timmy. Fucking. I mean, you cut to Anthony's house. There's a Filipino girl peeing in the pool. They're all laughing.
My wife loves your house, by the way. That was her first time seeing it. I've been telling her. And my son's like, is Nick rich? I'm like, yeah, he does well. He goes,
I'm not rich.
Is he rich?
And I do fair to middling.
It's funny. He goes, how much does he make? He'll ask like specific questions. He's at this age now where he'll start to like be curious about money.
Yeah, that Rosh Hashanah thing's getting to him.
How much? What's his basement
Luke
like?
Said that?
Yeah. What's his basement like? What's he got down there?
A bunch of dead kids. Is that what he said? How much?
Yeah. How much does he make?
I fucking love when kids do that.
Yeah. How much does he make?
What are you talking about? Your house is a giant, beautiful. Well, this is, we got lucky.
Dude, you got like...
We got lucky.
What do you got, 2 acres
The
here?
people that were selling us were both dying.
How far does your land go back? Because I'm noticing it like curves and then it starts again. I'm like, I can't tell where it ends.
Again, we're on radio, Joe. It's not going to help the audience, but, the other side of the pond is mine, too. Uh-huh. Right to the edge of that house. And I told you, across the street, I bought the woods.
Yeah.
Well, and again, that was a silent auction that my wife found out about.
I like the dye in your pond.
Yeah, I didn't mean to make it that blue.
Your wife told us that you accidentally, or that you made it too blue on purpose or something.
Not on purpose, by accident.
Well, she said that the bottle said like put a teaspoon in and you put like a bucket in.
No, the first time I used it, right? First of all, I wanted black. You can order like different colors.
You could make it black.
Yeah, it's almost black naturally.
Don't you like to keep I'm sorry.
Don't like to keep what? The what?
The blacks out.
What kind of crack is that, Joe? What are you talking
Is
about?
that
Let me ask you, were there black people at my cookout?
Yes, there
were.
were.
There any at yours? No, the answer is no, unless they were cutting roast beef at the buffet table. You fucking...
I wish I had the money that I had a roast beef cutter.
Excuse me.
There
Joe
were.
lives in New Rochelle. I went to his cookout, and this is what you could hear 2 blocks away. Give me back that chicken!
It's true.
Ray Rice is home, by the way.
Yeah.
So yes, it was fun. Robert Kelly, his wife, a lot of kids this year.
Yeah, there were.
They're not coming back for 5 years. They're banned. And Colin Quinn, Dan Soda, Joe Liss, Marina Franklin. I should pull up the picture.
Colin showed up with a girl. Couldn't.
Colin,
tell.
yeah.
I don't know if that was if he's in.
That's
a
his
relationship.
girlfriend.
He has a
Oh,
girlfriend.
yeah, for a long time.
Oh, okay.
That's Jen Sochko. I worked with her at Chris Rock Show
okay.
years ago. Gary Gulman and his girlfriend, Sade.
Yeah.
And Noam and his wife and kids.
Rich and Bonnie.
Rich and Bonnie.
Rich Voss and Bonnie McFarlane and
Yeah.
their daughter.
Rich gives me vegetarian sausage. Here's cookies. I go, you don't eat red meat? I fucking got that Jewish stomach.
What's that mean?
I don't know. He's got a sensitive stomach. And then he takes out a picture of a cyst that they took out of his back. It was like in a jar. It looked like a piece of sashimi. It was this bright red chunk of meat. And then Bonnie gave me vegetarian burgers.
Oh, they're real healthy? I didn't know that.
They look like rubber. I know. They look like rubber dog shit that you buy, those vegetarian burgers. They're falling apart on my grill.
Well, Voss is like 58 and he has abs. Like
Well, he
cut
used to have abs.
He
Those
lost
days
them?
are going away.
She said
No, he still looks good, Rich.
because he doesn't eat any. He doesn't eat that.
No, because
anything
he's got
bad.
stomach problems.
Man, that's a good thing to have.
Who am I forgetting? I think
Marina Franklin.
I mentioned Marina. Sade. Oh,
Jason.
Linda the waitress.
Linda the waitress from the cellar.
From the Comedy
you
Cellar.
Had Jason and you had Joe List.
Jason. Oh, Jason Cantor.
Jason Cantor.
Yeah.
Joe List.
Joe Liss, who mentioned already.
Dan Soder.
Yeah. We named the cookout Weak Middles.
So someone wrote under the picture you posted that Dan Soder has the worst body they've ever seen.
Well, it was a bad picture. That's what I hate about that shit. I don't know why people take and then fucking idiot comics and friends, put it out on Twitter. It's like, what the fuck? Can you clear it with me first? You know how pictures are. If the light's hitting you wrong way, you look like you're 90.
And it's over.
Huh?
And it's over because
Yeah.
they think we're comedians. They think we can take it. And then every time you say something back, they go,
Oh, I know. Somebody fucking Twitter. I know. Somebody goes, something about unfunny jokes to your comedian friends. So I fucking blocked the guy. Because I'm a comedian and you call me unfunny. You don't even know me, cocksucker.
Yeah.
And, of course, his brother tweets back, oh, you blocked my brother. It's funny how you comics can't take a fucking joke. I go, where was the joke, stupid? I joke for a living. You don't know the difference between an insult and a joke.
It's
it
true.
It was a Stern fan, naturally.
Yeah.
Some of the dumbest fucking people on the face of the earth. And I love the fucking show, but as far as stand-up audiences, the fucking worst.
yeah.
You know?
Well, I'll tell you, I got to
If you're not hitting a stripper in the ass with a giant salmon, you're not funny.
I did get a taste of.
Which I love, by the way, when he did that.
I told you off air, but I opened for Sebastian Maniscalco
Yeah.
up at Foxwoods.
Yes.
And I told him, like, I've opened for a lot of guys, and you see their fans. And I told you, and it could be annoying because they come right when you're in a casino. There's nowhere to hide if you're like a big name, So they'll walk right up when you're eating dinner and just want a fucking picture and an autograph. You could be sticking food in your mouth and they walk right
Well,
up.
if you're really big, you have people blocking them.
I guess. Well, yeah. Sebastian has no one. He shows up with nobody and people coming up every 2 seconds. And I said to him, the one thing you got going for you, I said, I've opened for a lot of these guys. I go, you got people that are all like these sophisticated Italians from Italy that are coming up. They're not obnoxious, really.
Yeah,
So
but they're
you
coming
kinda
up while he's eating, Joe. So how
That's true.
sophisticated are they?
That's
They
true.
sound like real fucking gavones to me.
You do have a point.
Hey,
They're saying,
Sebastian,
I
spit out that
apologize.
ziti.
I know you're eating. I apologize. I mean, fans are always going to be a little overbearing.
well, and the other thing is, how about eating somewhere private so you're not
You can
bothered?
hide?
Yeah, unless, He's enjoying his success.
He's
is what
not
he's
at
doing.
That, he's launching now.
Yeah.
He's not at that level.
He'll
where
be
he
doing
has to
Madison
hide.
Square Garden in a year.
You think?
Well, I might be exaggerating a little bit, but
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you can, he seems like quite a draw. And with social media, those guys that used to be a draw and stop at that level
Mm-hmm.
seem to blow it up, even if they know what they're doing marketing wise.
That's true. It was a fun weekend.
I bet it was. I like to meet the guy.
Yeah, he's a good guy. You should have him on sometime.
He's too big to come down here.
Oh, he's not. He's a good guy. I've had him on my podcast before.
Oh, like I was saying, he should be here next week. Son of a bitch. What am I saying to myself? He goes to...
But dude, going up in front of all Italians, I felt like a black comedian that gets the black audience. I'm
Yeah.
like, this feels like cheating. Like I never got to have
Well, it is.
all Italians in an audience. It's a joke. I just stacked all my best Italian
What happens when he
jokes.
runs out of Italians and they've all seen him? What do you go on to the Chinese?
He writes. He doesn't. He's got new stuff every time.
Of course he does. He has to.
Yeah.
When you get to that level,
People will come up and they go, he only did 2 bits from the special we saw from
he sounds like he's ripe for a sitcom, even though they don't spend money anymore unless
he had a deal. It didn't get made. I couldn't believe it because he's red hot, but they didn't do
well,
it.
that won't be his last shot, I'm sure.
Yeah, he's
But enough about his success and more about my failure.
yeah.
The hell else? Oh,
But why I brought it up, because you were talking about how you do some of these bits and sometimes they lay and you forget about them because you're practicing them at the stand.
but this little notebook I found under the couch or whatever, in my drawer, is
1996.
Oh yeah, no, you're about right on that one. Nursing homes, artificial insemination.
Insemination. Sorry.
Oh, it's
Don't
great.
apologize.
Don't apologize. Do
Keep
more of that
going.
shit. Girls only. Here's my bit about artificial insemination. Girls always say about guys, we only want one thing for them. Fucking, who do they? They only want one thing from us. They can go to a store and get it now, these fucks. I go, you got the Indigo girls pulling up in a minivan with a turkey baster and a Dixie cup, yelling their order into a giant clown's face. Welcome to Jack Off in the Box.
It's perfect.
Can I take your order? Yeah, I'll have a white male, 5'11", IQ 200. Famine relief. Oh, this is when France wouldn't take. We were sending them relief food, the United States, and France wouldn't accept it because they said it was genetically engineered or modified. I go, you going to tell me some kid chasing a water bug with a stick for lunch would turn down an apple because it was shaped like Scottie Pippen's head? What the fuck? What does that even mean?
I love your references. They're great.
Any reason why you're not wearing a seatbelt? Oh, this actually made it onto my special. Yeah, I've been driving since I was 16, and now I'm 40, and I've yet to go through the windshield. I developed that into something funny. Dentist. It's fucking bugs flying around in here. Dentist. Oh, I went to a dentist in L.A., and it had a little plaque. It said, your fillings that we use here contain mercury, which may cause birth defects. It was a little thing right in the dentist's office. And I'm like, yeah, the next time I go back to the dentist, you bring your kid back like 10 years later, and the dog's like, kids...
What is it?
The dentist goes, you can open your mouth, and the kid's like, which one? Because he's got 2 heads or something. The fuck? There's more to that.
You should be able to sell your old notebooks like guys can sell like all their old records. You just you just show up with comedy notebooks.
Then I read an article about a horse. It said the horse was overconfident. Some race horse. I go, how the fuck? You show up the night before you go to his stable. It's a bunch of empty beer cans. He's got his hoofs up on a table, watching Mr. Ed reruns. Yeah, put it all on me. What? Anyways, let's do a little sports, Joe. I know you're a heterosexual and you still like that type of shit.
Yeah, I was actually trying to arrange a guy's Monday Night Football night tonight to go to
Have Lambert do it. He'll have Madonna over there. Fucking.
I was trying to pick a sports bar in Westchester. I wanted to go watch the game. Just
pick one in New Rochelle.
That's what I tried to do. It's fucking Rosh Hashanah. Everybody's got something. It's ridiculous. And all my non-Jewish friends, they're like...
That's why it was so easy going into the city today.
Yeah, everybody's off.
I made it in record time. In record time home.
Yeah. With the Waze app.
See that? And it did. It had a little picture of a little rabbi on the Waze app showing him taking a right. But baseball-wise, Red Sox, yeah, sure. I know they're in last place, but let me tell you something. Second half of the season, they get all these young guys who are doing exactly what we were told they were going to do the first half of the year. And Big Pappy hit a milestone. Let's listen.
Ortiz to right field. Back goes Souza. Looking up. It is gone. David Ortiz, the newest member of the 500 Club. Big Papi, the greatest clutch hitter in Red Sox history, adds to his resume with number 500.
Pretty goddamn impressive.
It's fun. That's funny coincidence because my son was in the car on the way to your house.
Yeah.
And I said, maybe Nick's going to talk sports. I don't know if he's going to talk to you or not. Maybe not, because you'll probably want to play video games, which is what he's doing. But he was asking me, how long can you play in baseball? And I said, as long as you can deliver, you keep playing. I said, usually you become a designated hitter. And then he asked about David Ortiz. He brought him up, and he said, how old is he? And I was like, shit. I go, if I have to guess, he's 40.
I think that's about right.
Is he over 40?
I should know that. They mentioned it 8 times this weekend.
I know. I thought you would have known if he's.
I think that's about right.
He still DHs.
Yeah.
How long's he been the DH?
Oh, forever.
He's real skinny now. I saw him the other day. I was
No,
like,
he
Jesus,
isn't.
no.
He was skinny a couple of years ago. He kind of put it back on.
I watched
He's
the game
skinnier
a
than
couple-
he's skinnier than he was. Yes,
Yeah.
when he was younger.
Yeah.
Because they showed him hit his 100th,
Yeah.
and he was like chubby.
He was fatter. Yeah.
Yeah.
500 homers. I didn't
Yeah,
realize.
and
he was at
no
that
juice.
milestone.
Somebody did a whole article, and it wasn't a Boston writer. Somebody did a whole saying how it's unfair to Big Papi because he's getting lumped into these steroid guys. And most of the guys on the list that hit 500 in the
Yeah.
last 10 years
In the last 10 years, yeah.
are
Forget
getting
it.
and he's sort of getting thrown into it. And his name, he's never.
I was going to say, how far down on the list of all-time home runs is 500? Is he like 20th?
What do you
30th?
mean? He's 27th all time.
All-time 27.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which is unbelievable when you think of the thousands and tens of thousands of guys who play Major League Baseball. Right?
I always think of Mike Schmidt because I'm a Philly guy.
Yeah, Schmitty's
he had in the 500
amazing.
something. Yeah.
Amazing.
Because my son was asking me, that's why I told you off the air, we were talking about gambling on sports. My son asked me who my favorite baseball player of all time, any team.
And you said?
And I actually said, I go, Jesus, it might be Pete Rose. I said, I might say Pete Rose. I said, and I started explaining to him why he's kicked out of baseball.
Yeah.
But I said, I just loved Pete Rose. I don't know. He was
I have
fucking
to
fun.
love Charlie Hustle.
Who was your favorite?
My favorite player of all time?
Baseball.
And I'm going to surprise the hell out of you with this. And it has nothing to do with personality. It's just the way he played.
Right.
And
Well, that's why I like Pete Rose,
Yeah.
the way he played.
Ricky Henderson.
Ricky Henderson.
Just because of speed and power.
Yeah.
I had a little bit in JV. In high school, I got brought up for the last 2 games as a sophomore for varsity. Guy brings me up, dressed me, doesn't play me. He won't know anything. The type of coach he was. But I had speed and I could hit a little bit for power.
Oh, I didn't even know you played baseball.
Yeah,
I
but
thought
my
you were just
shoulders,
a football player.
my
Okay.
goddamn right shoulder from football.
Was all fucked
Yeah,
up.
it was hard to throw
Right.
without serious pain. And I just told the coach, I'm just playing football. Let me just draw my shoulders playing football. But I could.
What career milestones did Ricky Henderson get to? He had to have
Most
stolen
steals.
bases.
Yeah.
Does he have the most?
Well, I don't know if anybody's passed him since, but he did.
Let's think.
Remember, he held up the base. He goes, I'm the greatest of all time.
He had some hateable things, and I'm trying to remember what they are, though. I remember him being on the Yankees and being kind of douchey.
Well, yeah. No, he was always cock. I mean, announcing that you're the greatest of all time, number one.
Yeah.
But he's
A little crazy.
a little. And hell of a football player. But just as a baseball player, I'm talking about speed, leading off. He still has a record for most leadoff home runs, I think. I know he held that at one time. Just as a combination,
Right.
I love that. And then, you know who else? Right behind him, almost neck and neck, Chipper Jones.
Chipper Jones.
Looked like he was born in a baseball
Chipper
uniform.
Jones. Jesus, he was
Huh?
great. Yeah, he was one of those guys you just couldn't get him out.
Couldn't get him out. Great feel. Made it look too easy. Just a natural.
Yeah.
He looked like he was born in a goddamn baseball uniform.
Yeah, he's got that
All-American.
Josh Hamilton thing, where
Yes.
they're just like they look like they're just
And
like
All-American.
like Lou Gehrig kind of
Like
thing.
Lou Gehrig, Boog Powell. You know what I mean? Just all American. Like Harmon Killebrew, like Roger Moret. You know, all Americans. Louis Tiant.
Louis Tiant. No, my wife was watching and he's on the Mets now, is Bartona
Colon, who I love.
My wife goes, he's an athlete? I go, it's unbelievable. I go,
And a good
he's
one.
having a great season. I go, the guy looks like a mess.
They had to check his piss, too.
Jesus,
He's turning 52 on Wednesday.
There's no muscle. He's just like a fat guy.
I know, but always liked him. And he never gets mad at the umps. You ever notice?
No.
He'll throw him right down the middle. The guy will call it a ball. He never loses his temper.
Yeah.
He just like he's having a good time.
Yeah,
and I've seen the last couple of weeks he's got like 3 hits.
Oh, yeah, he's been hitting. I noticed that, too.
I just love that guy. He doesn't look like an athlete. I just fucking love that guy.
Yeah. I'd like to see that because the Phillies are so out of it. Your Red Sox are so out of it. Who would you like to see win the World Series this year? Can you root Mets?
Yeah, I can. Actually, I'm kind of a closet
Underdog.
I never hated a team more than after 1986 in the Mets. They were so arrogant. I hated them for years.
Right.
But I told this before. Then I moved to Astoria, Queens. Piazza just happened to be on the team. A subway was 8 minutes away to the Shea Stadium.
Oh, you went to a lot of games?
Yeah, I'd pop up there when I was bored, and and I kind of became kind of quiet. And
Secretly.
they've had, I mean, they've been so snake bitten the last 10 years, and I think this manager is really. Collins doesn't get enough. Terry Collins doesn't get enough credit, and boy, they're
hot right now.
They could do it, man.
Yeah.
They could friggin' do it. The Cardinal, I'm telling you, Mets are red hot. I hope they're not peaking.
Well, my whole wife's family roots Mets, so you're like me.
I'm an American League guy.
Yeah,
though.
I was gonna say I'm national, so I used to root Yankees a lot when I first moved to Astoria, like you, because my roommate, which I probably told on your podcast, I didn't know him at all. He wasn't a comedian, but he worked for the American League, and he used to get tickets front row. I mean, front row, third base. And I'm going to Yankee games all the time. I remember, and they made the playoffs. 95 is when I moved to Astoria, Queens. They're in the playoffs. I get to go to that. They lost. I forget who knocked them out of the playoffs. Might have been the Oakland A's.
Maybe.
And then the next year, they win the World Series, and I got to go to a lot of games that year. So I started to become a real Yankee fan. And even my brother, who's from Philly, he started to become a Yankee fan.
Don't do that, though. That's like joining the evil.
He's not anymore, though. But there was a time I brought my son. Not my son. My brother's 9 years younger. It feels like he's my son. I brought him to his first Yankee game, and it was the first Yankee game my brother ever went to was when Dwight Gooden pitched a no-hitter. So that can make you a fan the first time you go to the old Yankee Stadium too.
Sure.
You see a no-hitter.
Wasn't it a perfect game?
No, he didn't
Just
throw a perfect game. No-hitter.
Who is going to be? Toronto is scary.
There's a lot of good
Toronto
teams.
is scary offensively. Mm-hmm. I'm excited about the Sox next year, though. All these young guys are just all of a sudden hitting the piss out of the ball. But yeah, Toronto. I don't know who's in the Central.
I'm clueless until the playoffs start, and then I start watching. When your team is so far out, like the Phillies,
Yeah, no.
I just start falling off. I start waiting for football to start.
Well, and it did start, folks.
Which is why I'm meeting the Eagles play the Falcons tonight. Monday night,
Eagles, Falcons, and again, I'm an NFL fan. I'm always, but college football is my thing.
Yeah,
and I've been an NFL fan forever. I sort of grew out of. I just get tired of. I don't know. It's become, But the game last night, Giants Dallas, unbelievable, exciting. But my point is, if you follow college football and you know who the teams are, you can pick. There's 300 games on a Saturday, right?
Yeah.
You can pick and guarantee yourself when you see Michigan State and Oregon number 7 versus number 5.
Right.
It's gonna be a fucking game. It's gonna be a killer game.
It's never a blowout.
It's never. I watched, and I know how to pick them now. I haven't seen a bad game. The first game I watched this year was BYU at Nebraska. I'm like, how is that going to be a bad game? BYU plays everybody tough. At Nebraska, that ends on a Hail Mary for BYU quarterback. Throws a Hail Mary.
The guy catches.
I think he's a freshman. Their quarterback. Yeah, they win the game on a Hail Mary. So listen to this.
Yeah, you do see that more in college.
So I'm watching BYU again, right? This week. Where's all the That's why I need a fucking... I have the whole schedule here. Who the hell is fucking BYU? Oh, Boise State.
How many weeks in are they? I'm so clueless. I don't watch
like the
college
second. This
football.
is
But
like
you're exciting me. You're making me want to watch it. What are they?
This is the second week.
Second week.
Yeah. They're
That's what I thought.
Second or third, whatever. They're playing Boise State, who I love. That might be my favorite college team, Boise State.
Boise State.
Yeah. Nobody takes them serious, and they beat Oklahoma like in the fucking Orange Bowl a few years ago, and really put them on the map. Now they're in the top 20. They're ranked in the top 20. So they're playing BYU. I'm like, how is this going to be a fucking bad game?
Right.
Okay, this is how this one ends. Again, reminding you, BYU ends it on a Hail Mary. This is this week.
The same
against,
team the next week.
Against Boise State.
Last week was his long. And that is
Magnum is the quarterback.
Bronco Mendenhall and his staff. 4th down and 7 right here.
Here's the game, 4th and 7. Same quarterback from last week.
From what yard line? Midfield?
Yeah. A little closer, but...
Pressure from behind. Mangum flips it into the end zone. We've seen this before. Touchdown, BYU!
I pulled it off YouTube. It's some stupid sound effect. Does it again.
He says flips it.
Does it again. He didn't flip it.
He
fucking
said flipped it.
I know
like
he did.
Like he dished it.
I know. Bad call.
Threw a bomb?
Threw a fucking bomb. Threw a bomb.
This guy just...
And there was 4 defensive backs around this
and
guy.
He just jumps over everybody and catches it.
They just banged into each other and fell down. He's backpedaling. It lands right in his... 2 weeks. So I picked that game. And the other game, I think I'll watch Notre Dame and Virginia. Because it's at Virginia, right? It's their open. I go, that'll be.
You record all these games, don't you? Because you
yes,
work on
I'm doing
Saturday nights.
Exactly. I'm doing shit, or I'm doing shit during the day.
Right.
You know, and here's how this one ended: Notre Dame, Virginia. Virginia's unranked. Notre Dame's in the top, whatever.
Toward the end zone, touchdown. Will Fuller.
That's the backup quarterback for Notre Dame that throws a bomb with about 20 seconds left to put him ahead.
1 foot in bounds is all you need in the.
Here's the story behind that. Their quarterback is Malik Zaire, the Notre Dame, this left-hander, black kid who can run and throw. He's the best thing I've seen in years. He's going to be, I'm like, this kid is going to win the Heisman. I'm watching him 2 weeks in a row. And he's doing so many unbelievable things this week. I told the story on Jimmy and Opie this morning. I go to sit down to email my brother about I go, have you seen this Notre Dame quarterback? I sit down on my desk as the game is on. I look up. A guy falls on his ankle and snaps it. Oh. As I'm about to type an email to my brother about this kid.
Out for the season.
Thing snapped like... And it was graphic.
And he was a freshman, you said?
I don't know if he's a freshman or not.
Jesus.
He might be. But he can scramble, throw, just the most exciting, just a lefty too, just an unbelievable athlete. And I'm about to tell my brother about him, snap. So they bring this kid in, this kid comes in. He's really the third string. The starter for Notre Dame transferred this year because he knew this kid was so good. Mm-hmm. He could see the writing on the wall, they said, or whatever.
Okay.
And so the guy they bring in, the second string is really the third string. He throws this bomb to beat Virginia. But this is the type, my point is why I watch college football. You can see, I saw at least 5 games as exciting this weekend as the Dallas Cowboys. Right. And you'd have to watch 40 NFL games to see.
Yeah, they're all bad.
Not to mention the cheerleaders at 20. And CBS has the upshot of this skirt. I'm going to give you my fans out there because I love you so much. Do yourself a favor and Google Oregon cheerleaders. Oregon football cheerleaders.
Really? They're unbelievable.
Dude, it's like being in an audition in L.A. for a suntanning commercial. You have never seen so much. It's Google Oregon cheerleaders.
Well, it's funny that you mentioned Oregon because you're a college guy. Like I was going to ask you, you probably followed Marcus Mariota a lot then.
Oh, yes.
Now, did he start yesterday?
Yeah, he did. He started.
How did
he do? He had a fair game. He had 4 touchdown passes.
Did he really?
Yeah. He looked unbelievable for
my
Tennessee.
God. See, I didn't get to see it. I see. I got to watch
But
Sports
before we
later.
go to the NFL, let me just here's some of the games.
Well, Notre Dame's always fun to watch.
Jacksonville State Yeah, because they play tough teams. They play a brutal schedule, Notre Dame.
It's like a Penn State. They're always good.
Jacksonville State, shit bum team, right? They're playing Auburn, number 6 Auburn, at Auburn. Okay? It had to go into overtime. Had to go into overtime for Auburn to beat Jacksonville State.
Really?
Everybody was shocked at that. How about that? Notre Dame, I told you, 34-27 in the last play of the game. And these are some of the games. Oklahoma, Tennessee, this is when I watched. That ended in double OT. Tennessee had like a 17... Double OT. Tennessee had a 17-point lead like in the third quarter. And
don't they do sudden death in college? I'm so clueless here.
No,
I mean,
no.
They don't. You get a chance to get... Yeah, it's just, okay,
exactly.
I knew that.
And then here you go. How about Toledo? Toledo was like not even... Toledo's like a 1AA school. They beat number 18 Arkansas at Arkansas this week. This is the shit that...
Right.
In Boise State, BYU, I played that like the last clip. Oh, then you had Oregon, number 7 Oregon, at Michigan State, number 5. How was that? That is a delicious... I could not wait for that fucking game. I mean, it's just still... And how did that end? That was decided in the last few minutes. Michigan 31, Oregon 28. I mean, just... And I love the NFL. Don't get me wrong. I'm just saying, if you like football, I don't understand people who go, I love the NFL. I don't give a shit about call. If you like the sport... I don't understand how that wouldn't translate.
I think it's like, I can compare it to this maybe with like music, how like some people aren't savvy enough to listen to a song that they never heard of and say that's a good song.
Right.
Like it has to be a hit and then you know it, or you need to know the person singing it to want to hear it. So like people don't know who all the athletes are in a college game. There's a lot of no-name guys playing.
I don't know, but I don't know everybody. When I watch the NFL, I used to. When I was a kid.
You were a football player, too, so it might translate to you in a stronger way. You played college football.
I know, but even after I played college, back then, I was an NFL guy more than college. You know what I mean? Even right after college.
Right.
I mean, I just get tired of the NFL. Every punt and every kickoff, there's a penalty flag. I've been bringing this up for 10 years now, whether I was on radio or whatever.
Right.
They have to change that rule. Howard Cosell said this back in the early 80s. He put a statistic out during one game. I remember him going, 68% of the plays, kicking plays, whether a kickoff or punt, there's a penalty in the NFL. That was the worst Cosell. I bailed out of it.
Didn't even sound like
I didn't even do him. I forgot. I was making a point. I'm very tired. Been up very early.
Yeah, you had to...
68%.
There you go.
But the point was, he goes, that means the rule is wrong. And he's right. They have to change the rule. Every fucking punt and kickoff is a push in the back. Am I right?
Oh, yeah.
Joe?
I can't stand it.
And then the referees, here's the other thing that's bugging me about the NFL.
And they graze him. It's like they grazed his shoulder or something. Come on.
Yeah, it's all skewed for offense. Defensive backs, if you look at a guy wrong, they throw a flag now, right? And the other thing is a guy jumps off sides. The referees have to get together and talk about it for a minute before they... Do you ever notice that? They have to discuss a fucking offsides call for 5 minutes? Pick up the flag and mark off the fucking ball. You titless one, do you?
What is the long discussion?
Exactly. Here you go.
I've got to do things later. Please. Make a decision. Let one guy decide.
Nobody will make a decision. You're hitting it right on the head. You're hitting it right on the head, Howard.
If
who that was supposed to
they
be.
take this long, I'm not going to be able to not say something racist in the dead air of this game. Look at the little monkey run.
Racist. He called his nephews and nieces that, but they were black. To be fair, Howard racist. How dare you?
He's one of my favorites. Cosell loved him.
But don't get me wrong. I can't wait for tonight.
Right.
You know.
I'm with you. Like I have that feeling with Little League baseball. Now the way they run it on ESPN, I like it better than watching pro baseball because you don't know who they are. They're kids. There's probably
unless you're Jerry Sandusky, then you know them all. Height, weight, and foot size.
Foot size.
I don't know what that means.
That's a good one. Yeah, but, maybe that's another reason why college football can be more exciting, because there's mistakes. You don't know what's going to happen. There's more emotion.
There's less mistakes.
There's less mistakes.
There's less penalties. It's a cleaner game.
Do you feel that the crowd has more emotion, too?
Oh, of course. First of all, they're playing in front of way bigger crowds than the pros are.
Yeah, everybody goes to school there. It's just there's more of a connection.
Tennessee has 110,000, 112,000 at the game.
Yeah. It's like,
you know what I mean?
I went to the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame a few years ago in Cleveland.
I don't see how this relates.
This is how it relates. They were airing. U2 did a concert in Buenos Aires,
and Bono threw 3 touchdown passes.
He threw 2. Buenos Aires, Argentina.
Yeah.
Okay. 3D. The concert's in 3D, and you can watch it on this IMAX screen in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And I mean, the people are going so ape shit. There's so much more emotion from people from Argentina than when you see a rock concert here.
Yeah.
They just get into it more. And I think college sports has that a little bit.
Artie used to hate. He goes, I don't like all the rah-rah shit. And I
Really?
Well, what is that? What do you mean, like the marching band? I don't watch them at halftime. You know what I mean?
Right.
I never understood what he meant by that. But
well, people do rah-rah pro sports. But
oh, yeah. But I'm just saying it's a cleaner
there's a
game.
doubler amount of people can create some.
No, absolutely. But my other point is, who do you think's trying harder? Somebody who wants to be in the NFL someday, or somebody who's making $1 zillion and doesn't matter if they get beat 40-0?
Well, that too. And as a fan watching, you're going, this guy's. He's trying to make it. He's trying to make the pros.
And
this
most of them do make it. That's
what
my other point. I used to say, you wouldn't have loved to seen Lawrence Taylor when he was 20 years old in his physical peak in college.
Yeah. You
know what I mean? That's who you're looking at. Half of Miami and half of Florida State, they get drafted every year, 14 guys.
Right.
That's what I love about it. You're watching these guys, and they're not dinged up yet. Their bodies are still fresh. And the cheerleaders. Did I mention the cheerleaders?
You really like that?
Oregon, folks. OregonCheerleaders.com.
I think of you every time I go to the Starbucks by my house because it's next to the all-girls private high school.
Oh, that's too young. I'm not that sick.
No, you are.
Bullshit.
You came to my house. You said
a couple of middle schools.
You said you had a stiff neck because you couldn't stop turning your neck when you were driving by the.
There was a joke. There was nobody out there.
No, there are. I'm saying it as a fact. I'm standing in the Starbucks.
Fucking smash his fucking face in.
It's fucking 12. I don't know.
All right. You want to plug some gigs?
I sound like a pedophile now.
We got your kid upstairs. He's probably taking a dump behind my couch.
Kid's got my fucking phone with my dates in it. Where am I this weekend?
Probably in your kitchen being yelled at by your
I'm doing
wife.
some private gig in Buffalo. I'm not going to promote that. Go to Joe.
You're not? So people want to hear about it?
They can't go to it anyway.
All right.
Go to joematarese.com. Follow me on Twitter at @TheJoeMatarese. Follow me on Facebook at @TheJoeMatarese. And listen to the Fixing Joe podcast. If you like Nick and I together, you can hear my podcast with just me or whoever my guests are, and Nick's on that one a lot too. So go check it out on joematarese.com. It's on iTunes and all the same places your
Jesus
podcast
fucking
is on.
Christ, we heard you. What are you kidding me?
Is that a long plug?
Wayne Newton doesn't have that many plugs.
joematarese.com.
I'll be at Uncle Skid Mark's in Buffalo, and then Kenny G's in Denver.
I'll be in Magooby's Joke House next month, and I'll also be at the Laughing Skull in Atlanta.
I'm doing Tit Twisters and
Twisters.
Sacramento. I'll be at Laugh Boston this weekend. Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Come out and see me, my hometown. It's always a great time. The following weekend, the 25th and 26th, I'll be at Governor's in Levittown. And the big one, folks, and please come out to see, because I want to do this theater many times. The Gramercy Theater in New York City on October 17th. It's a Saturday night. I'll be in rare form because I've been on vacation the week before and be very rusty, and that's when I'm at my funniest, when shit doesn't fly right. You'll want to see that. End up getting a wrestling match with some fat chick. What else? Couple of benefits also. Sports Haven in New Haven, Connecticut on the 24th of October. That's enough plugs. Joey, thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.
And I think we touched on it all, didn't we?
Yep.
I don't know. I thought I had something else. I always do this.
Thought you had something else after the plugs?
Yeah.
Like what?
I don't know.
Some sort of nice little summarizing it
I
all
had
music.
something else I wanted to... Oh, here it is.
Fuck you! Fuck you! Fuck you!
Nice, sweet way to end it.
Here's me and my mother getting in a fight at my sister's birthday party.
To the boss here.
Good, maybe someone will smack some goddamn sense into him.
Great, my own mother. Fuck you, you fucking whore.
All right, kids, that's it. Have yourselves a good day. We'll talk to you soon.
I love you for helping me to construct of my life, not a tavern, but a temple.
Fuck you! Fuck you!
I love you because you have done so much to make me happy. You have done it without a word, without a touch, without a sign. You have done it by just being yourself. Perhaps, after all, that is what love means. And that is why I love you.
Good day, everybody.